Hello students, my name is Mr. Harshal Neskar and we are studying the subject of basic human rights. This is lecture number 17 and in last lecture we have studied the concept of communalism and in that lecture we have studied the definition of communalism. Then we studied the factors those that causes the communal conflicts within the society. Alright, and in this lecture we are going to study the communal conflicts in India, or we can say the communalism that is present in our Indian society. Alright, so let's start the lecture with the first point, that is the evolution of communalism in Indian society. So the ancient India, it was united and no such communal feelings were there. The people in that time lived peacefully together. There was acceptance for each other's culture and tradition. For example, the Emperor Ashoka, he followed the religious tolerance and focused mainly on the Dhamma. All right. Also in medieval period, we have examples such as Samrat Akbar, who was epitome of secular practices, and he believed in propagating such values by abolishing the jizya tax and starting off Din-e-Ilahi and Ibadat Khana. Though the communities were very rigid in practicing their own rituals and practice, but it never became the barrier in peaceful coexistence. Overall, the Hindus and Muslims in those days had common economic and political interests. So that was the ancient India, or the medieval period of culture that was being developed in our Indian society. And in that society, there were also the different cultures and societies present at that time, but still they lived peacefully together. All right. But the communalism in India particularly, it is the result of emergence of modern politics, and which has its roots in partition of Bengal that was taken place in the year of 1905, and the feature of separate electorate under the Government of India Act 1909. Later, the British government also appeased the various communities through the Communal Award in 1932, which faced strong resistance from Mahatma Gandhi ji and the other leaders of India. Alright, so basically, the ancient and medieval India was very peaceful, but as the British government took the rule of our Indian society, they started to divide and rule our Indian culture. And particularly the partition of Bengal that was taken place in the year of 1905, and the act brought by the British government in 1909, that has the particular roots of the communalism that has taken place since the year of 1909. All right, and all these acts were done by the British government to appease the Muslims and other communities for their own political needs. And this feeling of communalism has deepened since then, and it is fragmenting the Indian society and being a cause of unrest still today. Communal consciousness arose as a result of transformation of Indian society under the impact of colonialism and the need to struggle against it. So basically, this is the evolution of communalism in Indian society. Now we will study about the stages in Indian communalism and how it spread throughout the time. So basically, India is a land of diversity, and it is known for lingual, ethnic, cultural, and racial diversity. As we have discussed above, the communalism in India is a modern phenomena which has become threat to the India's unity in diversity. Particularly, the spreading of Indian communalism, it has taken place, and the first stage was the rise of nationalist religions like Hindu, Muslim, Sikh, and etc., with only first element of communalism as discussed above. Roots of these were laid in later part of the 19th century with Hindu revivalist movement like Shuddhi movement of Arya Samaj and cow protection rights in the year of 1892. So basically, the first stage of rising of the communalism was taken place in the 19th century with the movements like Shuddhi movement or the cow protection rights. On the other hand, the movements like Feriazi movement started Haji Sharitullah in Bengal to bring the Bengali Muslims back on the true path of Islam was one of the religious reform movements which had a bearing on communalism in 19th century, where when the Hindus started the movements like Shuddhi movement and cow protection riots, on the other hand the Bengali Muslims they also started the movements like the religious reform movement that has taken place in the 19th century. The communal consciousness arose as a result of this transformation of Indian society under the impact of British colonialism and the need to struggle against it. Then the second stage of the Indian communalism was the liberal communalism. It believed in communal politics but liberal in democratic, humanist and nationalist values. It was basically before the year of 1937. For example, the organizations like Hindu Mahasabha and Muslim League that were taken place after the year 1920, and the personalities like Muhammad Ali Jinnah, Madan Mohan Malviya, Lajpat Rai. These personalities they were known as the first communist of our Indian society. All right, that was the second stage. The third stage was the extreme communalism. This had a fascist syndrome and it demanded for a separate nation. Based on fear and hatred, there was a tendency to use violence in language, deed, and behavior of that particular culture. For example, the Muslim League and Hindu Mahasabha, they used the languages and behavior that was very violent to the Indian society. And this particular thinking spread as a byproduct of colonialism, economic stagnations, and absence of the modern institutions of education and health. These factors caused the competition. People started using nepotism. Nepotism means the patronage bestowed or favoritism shown on the basis of family relationship as in business and politics. So these factors caused the competition and people started using the nepotism, paying bribes to get jobs and etc. Short-term benefits from communalism started giving validity to the communal politics. And the result of this particular these three stages was that the people started using like the corruption as a way for the earning money. So that was the three stages of Indian communalism. Then we will study why communalism still persists and it is increasing in modern India. Alright, since the independence, India has been pursuing the ideal of nation building based on the concept of secularism. But even after 72 years of independence, India is still burning under the fire of communalism. All right. The Constitution of India gives the certain fundamental human rights to the citizen of our India, but in case of minorities, the whole community has been given the fundamental rights under the article of number 28, 29, and 30, according to which they are free to manage their educational institutions and have the right to conserve their own culture. So basically the Constitution of India it gives the certain fundamental rights to the citizen as well as to the group of citizens of minority religions also. Also, there is a still perception that all communities have divergent and contradictory interests. Consequently, the communities based on pressure groups bargain for their own community. So, there is a perception today like the communities, all the communities think like they have the divergent and contradictory interests from each other, and that is why they bargain for their own community interests. At political level, these communities compete for power and resources. This competition in turn accelerated to the major conflicts that have been faced by Indian society. Politicians try to turn these communities into vote banks, and different communities became the watertight compartments of their particular society. Moving on, the reasons which play in continuation of communalism are: the first one is the religious, second one is the political, third one is the socio-economic, and the fourth one is the international. As we have studied the factors like the factors to causes communal conflicts in the last lecture, these are the some reasons that are that play the role of continuation of communalism in our Indian society. The first reason, that is the religious, it's a mentality of our belief alone is true and the rest is unrest, untrue, and or incomplete. This particular mentality should be considered responsible for the communalism that is taking place in our Indian society. And as per this mentality, when the followers of any religious community, sections or subsections indulge in their activities, they certainly come in conflict with other communities. The reason is quite evident. They do not have tolerance, which is absolutely necessary for a country like India, where there are the different religious communities are living together. Then there is the second reason of politicians. They have also played a villainous role in creating serious communal situations in India. There was politics at the root of painful division of India in 1947 in the name of particular religious community. But even after paying a heavy price in the form of partition, in many riots provoked thereafter, we can find the involvement directly or indirectly of political parties or their supporters. Along with this, for the sake of vote bank, the policy of appeasement, selection of candidates on the basis of community, sections, subsections, and caste, and flaring up these religious sentiments at the time of elections led to the rise of communalism. These practices are still continued, and the country is bearing heavy losses because of it. So that is the main reason that is spreading the communalism. Then there is the third reason of spreading of communalism, that is the socio-economic conditions of India. Though after independence has improved, and even the economic reforms after 1991 has been instrumental in improving such conditions, but still there are many challenges in front of our Indian society which are becoming threat for this diversity. Population, poverty, illiteracy, and unemployment create a lot of compulsions, especially before the younger generation of India. That is why many from younger generation, because of lack of right thinking, remain unemployed and in a state of poverty get involved in the evil like communalism. The efforts being made for uprooting poverty, illiteracy, and unemployment are not as fruitful as they should be. So this was the third reason. The fourth reason is the international factors or the external elements. They also have a role in worsening the problem of communalism and making it very serious. So basically, we cannot mention the name of any particular country in this regard, but the scholars and those who think on this problem from time to time have highlighted this particular fact. So that was the reasons for spreading the communalism, and still why communalism is still increasing in our modern India. So now we will see about the infamous communal violence that have taken place in our Indian history. So let's start with the first communal violence that was taken place in 1947 when the partition of India took place. So after partition, millions of population were forced to move from both sides of the border of India and Pakistan. So Hindus in Pakistan and Muslims in India were killed in masses, women were raped, and many children lost their parents. There was hatred everywhere. Violence didn't see anything except bloodshed. Later, it turned in the problem of refugees, and their rehabilitation became the one of the biggest challenge for independent India. So that was the root cause of the communal conflict that have taken place in year of 1947. Then there was the communal violence taken place in the 1984, that was the anti-Sikh riots. This is one of the biggest bloodsheds in India, where Sikhs in large numbers were massacred by the anti-Sikh mob. This massacre took place in response to the assassination of Prime Minister Indira Gandhi by his own Sikh bodyguard in response to her actions authorizing the military operation on the Golden Temple of Amritsar. So that was the second biggest communal conflicts. Then there was the ethnic cleansing of Kashmiri Hindu Pandits in the year of 1989. So the Kashmir, basically it was known as the heaven of India and was known for its Kashmiriyat, that is the reflection of love, peace and harmony through brotherhood and unity of Hindu, Muslims and other communities living together peacefully. But the Brotherhood saw a serious blow due to the extremist Islamic terrorism in the Kashmir Valley, which led to the mass killing and large-scale exodus of Kashmiri Pandits from the valley to the various regions and corners of the India, giving them the status of refugee in their own country. And since then, the valley is under the grip of communal violence, and the ongoing unrest has become a problem for the development of the people of Jammu and Kashmir. Then there was the infamous Babri Masjid demolition in Ayodhya in the year of 1992. According to Hindu mythology, Ayodhya is the birthplace of Lord Rama, and therefore it is sacred place for Hindu religion. But in medieval period, Mughal general the Mir Baghi, he built a mosque named after the Mughal ruler Babur. There were disputes since then and riots also took place. But in the year 1990, due to some political mobilization, there was atmosphere of protest by Hindu religion groups, and in large scale, car sevaks visited Ayodhya from all parts of India in supporting of demolishment of Babri Masjid and building of Ram temple there. These movements caused huge amount of bloodshed, and since then it is a disputed matter. After this, violence was followed by the Godhra incident in 2002, when car sevak returning from Ayodhya in a Sabarmati Express were killed by fire in the coaches of train. This act was followed by the extended communal violence in Gujarat. That violence is like the black spot in the history of Gujarat and the nation too, as people were killed without any mercy. Hindu and Muslim community became the antagonists to each other. Till now, people are fighting for justice in Supreme Court with a ray of hope from the Indian judiciary. Then there were the Assam communal violence in the year of 2012. The northeastern states are known for its distinguished tribal population and ethnic diversity, and large scale Bangladeshi immigration has changed the demography of northern eastern northeastern states, which often become the reason for the clashes between the communities. In year 2012, there were ethnic clashes between the Bodos, that is the tribal Christian and Hindu faith communities, and Muslims. Ethnic tensions between the Bodos and Bengali-speaking Muslims escalated into a riot of Kokrajhar in July 2012, when unidentified miscreants killed four Bodo youths at Joypur. Then there was the last biggest communal violence that was seen by the Indian society, that was the Muzaffarnagar violence in the year of 2013. The cause of the ethnic clash between the Jat community and Muslim community is very much disputed, and it has many versions. According to few, it was started after some suspicious post on social media platform Facebook. According to some, it was escalated after the Eve teasing case in Shamali. Let the reasons be unknown, but what matters is that the nature and the scale of loss to the country with respect to the human resource and peace that has taken place in the communal violence of Muzaffarnagar. In uh, all these hundreds of other riots, with one thing is common, that the huge majority of victims have nothing to do with the communal hatred. In short, the preparators of violence and victims of violence are different persons. Similar to above mentioned list, there are many more which has impact on the masses and kill people on large scale. The Bombay bomb incident in 1993, attack on Akshardham in year of 2002 by Lashkar-e-Toiba, and Varanasi bomb attack in 2006 are few of them having anti-Hindu outlook. Lots of movies also pictured on the above mentioned communal violence, which can give us the understanding about the damage and harm done by these violence. There are movies like Bombay and Black Friday based on the 1992 attacks, Train to Pakistan based on the novel of Khushwant Singh about the partition of India 1947. Gandhi is a portrayal of direct action day and partition of India. Then there was also a movie called Hawaii based on 1984 six riots, and also there was a movie of Machis about the Punjab terrorism. There are these are the few ones to name, and there are many more which may sensitize us about such issues, so that in future these type of communal violence should be avoided. Now we will take a reality check on the communal violence that have taken place in our Indian history, and the deaths of people that has been taken place in those particular communal violence. So this particular graph gives the three types of bars, that is in the three decades of 1980 to 1990, then there is 1991 to 2000, and 2001 to 2013, and that this particular graph is still increasing as the time passes. So this particular reality check gives like the communal violence is still there in our modern India, and it should be stopped at any cost if the Indian culture has to develop in all other areas. So that was for this lecture. In this lecture we have studied the spreading of communalism. All right, and in next lecture we will study the government plans or government strategies that has been the part of particular communal violence, and then we will see what kind of actions that should be taken place to avoid this type of communal violences. All right, and uh, this is for uh, this lecture, and thank you for listening the lecture. If you have any doubt regarding this particular topic, you can comment down below in the section. Thank you.